Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, and I hope you like me. Getting to know.
Hello Pamela and welcome. Joining here, and I'm sure you're a little bit relaxed because this is a take 2, so you're now already chill. We had a little technical issue on the first one, so now we warmed up. Yes. No, you can see no pain. It's all very good.
Pain is gone.
Exactly. And so let's just start a little bit again from when you was a child. How did it all started?
Okay, so when I was a child, and I think I must have been about 3 or 4, and my mum took me to the doctor because she thought I was too tubby.
It's unbelievable though you was tubby at some point.
I was quite, I was little tubby and but the doctor said, well, there's nothing wrong in a baby, a child of this age, being a bit tubby. He said, but if you want to encourage her to do some form of exercise, it can be ballet, or it can be ice skating, or it can be some kind of form of dance. So I chose ballet, which I did for 2 years in a little studio in Chiswick. And I remember the studio in the way. And then I was all right with ballet. I learned how to do the deportment and using the ball and the things they did with children. But it wasn't really enough for me. I just felt I wanted to do more physical dance. And I went from there to Hammersmith Ballet Saturday morning classes.
Famous Hammersmith.
Yes, and it was
a lot of things happened there.
Wonderful, wonderful place. And I took my medals with a lady called Rita, who was a lovely teacher, lovely to me. And she said to my parents, you know, Pam is a talented dancer, and I can't teach her anymore. I think you should take her to somewhere to develop her more. And anyway, they came to watch me, and they stood behind a pillar, and watched me, and they could see that I was talented, I suppose, from what she was saying. And so it progressed from there, and I got a dance partner.
So where did you move from Hammersmith? Were you still was in Hammersmith?
I was still in Hammersmith. We stayed there, and I went to found a partner in Harrow. I danced with a boy in Harrow, and then I met my first partner seriously. One was in Sydney Francis studio in Ballroom.
Right.
And that's where I met him.
So was your most junior youth years with that boy?
Yes, that was when I was by that time I was 15. Maybe 16. Before that I did have a few partners in juniors, which were great, but I danced with him for quite some time, and then we actually got married, and we went on the ships.
Oh, really?
And we danced on the ships, and we were the...
As amateurs or professionals?
That was professional.
So you was quite young turning professional?
Yes, I turned professional. Actually,
and is that because of the ships, or why did you turn so young professional?
They actually talent spotted me and my partner at the Albert Hall, and they thought we would be wonderful to be on the ships. So we went, and we weren't married, but the stipulation was in those days that you had to be married. So we brought the wedding forward, and everyone said, oh, she's pregnant. But I wasn't pregnant, of course I wasn't pregnant. And we went on the ships for a year, and that's how it's progressed. We started to dance.
And then, is that your partner?
No, that wasn't, that partnership and marriage split up. And I danced with a famous dancer called Geoffrey Clapham. And he was absolutely fantastic. We actually had the tryout at Hammersmith Ballet, you know. And when we went for the tryout with our connection, he held my hand, and I knew it was going to be wonderful. And it really was, and we had a lot of success.
Yeah, that's amazing. And obviously you are very, very bubbly. I mean, everybody knows you as a ball of energy.
Yes.
Was you always like this, like even as a child? So it must have been really, really exhausting as a child to your parents.
I think I was really. I mean, I can remember my brother as a child, and my brother was totally different to me. and he was into classical music and quite religious, and he would sit in his room reading the Bible, listening to Tchaikovsky and the serious stuff, and I'd be outside the flat, jumping around and wearing the carpet out. Any music that came on the radio, I had to dance to it. And yeah, I've always had that in me, even now.
Yes. And at school, did it cause you a lot of problems, all your energy? Was you a troubled teenager child at school?
Can't remember that far back really, but I think that I probably was a little bit hyper perhaps, and I didn't go in for the sports very much. Running after a hockey ball wasn't my cup of tea. I was always too small for netball, and you know, and with the hockey sticks I used to, because I was dancing in competitions, my mum used to tan my legs, and I was so worried about my legs getting bruised, so I used to jump over the sticks. So I know you're supposed to hit the ball with a stick, but I used to jump over them, and I was never good at athletics really. I didn't feel that was me. It wasn't artistic enough, and my passion was with dancing and learning, and from the lovely teachers in those days.
And obviously, when you was competing, you know, all of the time, I'm sure was taken by dancing and or traveling or even teaching. Well, now you retired, so obviously some time ago. And what are the hobbies? How you utilize your free time now that you're not competing?
Now, of course, in lockdown, I had lots of free time, like everybody else. I'm doing dance classes from a lovely lady that I'm allowed to mention her name, Cara Stubbington, and excuse me, I follow her dance classes, and I can do those every day wherever I am, and I'm jumping about, and I've also got weights. I learned to swim 5 years ago properly, so I can do 50 lengths in the pool.
So you wasn't able to swim until
I could
then?
never swim.
Oh wow.
My mum was a champion swimmer, but...
and she never taught you to swim?
No, because I was always in the dance studio, and it was dancing, and there was no time or money for anything else.
Right.
And my mum said to me, you know, if you want to dance, you can't have a new doll, you can't do this, I've got to go to work. And so I sacrificed a lot of that. And so I'm now swimming and playing golf as well, a couple of times a week. And I've got a standing bike at home, so I've got plenty of things that keep me busy, like active. So I've got the activity, and then I like cooking, I like experimenting with new recipes, and housework and cleaning. I mean, that's about it really. Golf, and yes, golf. Play, you know, twice a week. And,
yeah, so you're still quite active when you think a lot of activity. And you just mentioned a minute ago about you had to choose as a child. Sorry to return back, I just thought it's quite interesting that you know, as a young child, you had to choose to have new dolls, to have new games, to go to play with children, or to go dancing because there was not enough money. I mean, that must have been difficult as a child, but you still carried on and you still focused. So how was that?
And well, I don't know. My mother looked up. My dad had 2 jobs. He worked for the civil service, and then he used to work on the tote at White City Stadium, which isn't there now. It's where the BBC BBC studios are, and that's where White City Stadium was. And he used to work Saturdays and another night, a couple of nights a week to pay for my lessons. And my mum used to make me, we used to go out to the co-op in Hammersmith and buy material, and she'd make me a little practice dress for the Sunday. She used to go Saturday, make it on Sunday, or Saturday night, Sunday morning, and I'd go and practice, because Saturday and Sunday afternoon was practice at Hammersmith Alley. So that's how we lived. We were in a little flat, and
so you must have really strongly wanted to dance, to sacrifice as a child, because I remember, even now I know many children, if they would have to choose not going out or spending money, because you have to choose, they probably would choose going out or buying a toy rather than dancing. So it must be really motivated.
Yes, and I missed out on sleep nights with my friends, and you know, I didn't go away with them and their families. I was, well, because every weekend I was dancing in competition, or I was going for a lesson, or there was always, it was quite intense, and I realised that I think I
So
wanted
you must
it.
be really like thinking back about your parents, that you must be really grateful that they, even though they didn't have finances, by the look of it, they managed,
Right.
they did everything possible to support your dream.
Yes.
And I think you know, it's sometimes sad now when children say, oh, because I don't want to do that, because I will miss out going to cinema with my friend. It's sad when somebody didn't have that opportunity and you took everything possible.
Yes.
And it's actually, when you really want, it is possible, isn't it? Even without money, it's possible to do if you really, really want.
Yes. I think my mother was the main motivator in me. She was absolutely amazing what she did. And you know, when you grow up and they go, they pass, and you know, I look back at those days, and yeah, it makes me appreciate more.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yes, it's really inspiring to hear that, I must say. And let's to return to a few cheeky questions. So you mentioned you like cooking. So what's your favorite food?
I like everything. I like most things. I have moments of cooking, things like I would try and experiment. When first lockdown came last year, I decided every Sunday to do a new roast. So I'd never done roast dinners before, so we had a rota of roast lamb, roast pork, roast chicken, roast beef. And I followed one particular recipe from, I think it was Jamie Oliver, and it was roast lamb. And when I did this recipe, it was to die for. I mean, it was so yummy. And I did that one several times more. I haven't done that so much this year, I have to say, a bit naughty. But I still enjoy an experimenting.
What do you think makes you different from others?
Oh, I think my personality and my cheekiness and my love, my outlook on life and all is always, most of the time, I do have moments, I'm not like this all the time. I cannot be. I think we should grow time.
I hope when you're asleep you're quiet. I hope when you're asleep you are quiet.
I have to say that when I'm around dancers, and you know, it just inspires me, because I love the business so much, and not just the dancing, it's the people and the memories I've got with the people, and the memories I'm creating now, as we all are. You know, and it's lovely to see people today, and rather than on Zoom, which I'm not great. You know this, my darling, that I need help sometimes, well, not sometimes, nearly every time, with technology. And because unfortunately I was at an age at school, we didn't have computers, so, and it's new, and the social contact is so important in our life and in the dancing world. I think we all miss this.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you very much, Pam. And on this positive, bubbly note, we'll finish that. And what an inspiration, our little Pam. I hope that you all will watch this interview and take every word she said. So thank you, Pamela.
Pleasure, SNIEGUOLE. You're a gem. Thank you.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, and I hope you like me.